Going over to the political part podcast, you have Mark Dice critiquing California gubernatorial candidate, Kathy Porter, because she's, pretty entertainingly bad. Now, again, this is right on Mark Dice's YouTube channel, and she's some good old good old cliche, I don't know what you call it, schoolyard humor, but she looks, debatably worse than me.
Meet Katie Porter, who is the leading Democrat candidate in the gubernatorial race for governor in California. She's a former.
And to clarify, that pig rolling in the water, that was not Rosie O'Donnell. I did some research, did some photo analysis. That is not Rosie O'Donnell. That's, acting as a pig right there. It's an actual pig in the water.
Race for governor in California. She's a former Democrat congresswoman who then thought she would become a senator, step up in prestige. She failed that race, and so now she wants to become the governor of California, and sadly, she is leading in the race. Before we get into the clips, are those oinking sounds too immature? No. That's a rhetorical question, by the way. Of course not. In case you're new around here, be sure to subscribe to this channel because around here, we're gonna make fat jokes great again. And we like racist jokes too.
What do you say to the 40% of California voters who you'll need in order to win, who voted for Trump?
How would I need them in order to win, man?
Well, unless you think you're going to get 60% of the vote. You think you'll get 60%, everybody who did not.
This is the arrogance of Democrats in deep blue states and in deep blue cities where they just couldn't care less about, normal people.
Vote for Trump will vote for you. That's what you're saying.
In a general election, yes. If it is me versus a Republican, I think that I will win the people who did not vote for Trump.
What if it's you versus another Democrat?
I don't intend that to be the case.
So how do you not intend that to be the case? Are you going to ask them not to run?
No, I'm saying I'm going to build the support. I have the support already in terms of name recognition.
Name recognition. How many people in California know who Katie Porter is?
Just said you don't need those
Not many.
Trump voters.
Well, you asked me if I needed them to win.
So you don't think
I feel like this is unnecessarily argumentative. What is your question?
How mentally weak is she? It's a kind of cliche political question. Like, how are you going to win votes, not just from your party, but also people in the middle, maybe people on the opposite side? And yet, this is too much for her.
It's argumentative. See, she's used to just the softballs from the major mainstream media as a former Democrat member of Congress. Now she's dealing with a local reporter. And local reporters tend to be not such sellouts.
So, and the question is, what do you say to the 40% of voters who voted for Trump?
Oh, I'm happy to say that. It's the do you need them to win part that I don't understand. I'm happy to answer the
She doesn't understand math. You need many votes to win. Sometimes people flip votes. They actually vote for the different political parties that they're registered from.
Answer the question as you have it written, and I'll answer it.
And this is even worse than Hillary Clinton's deplorables. She's just literally saying, I don't need Republicans to win. Screw them.
What I'm saying to you is that...
Well, to those voters, okay, so you...
I don't want to keep doing this. I'm going to call it.
Typical leftist. I don't like this game. I'm going to take the ball and go home.
Okay. Thank you.
You're not going to do the interview with us?
Nope, not like this. I'm not. Not with 7 follow-ups to every single question you ask.
Every other candidate has answered.
I don't care. I don't care. I want to have a pleasant, positive conversation with you.
How weak are you? I want to have a pleasant, positive conversation. It's a reporter interviewing you. This isn't even like a hard gotcha question. Like, this is just a tad bit of resistance from someone who's in a radical leftist interviewing you for once. And she's having a total mental breakdown.
Ask me about every issue.
Pleasant, positive conversation.
And if every question you're going to make up a follow-up question, then we're never going to get there.
Making up a follow-up question is a very correlated follow-up question because, again, Katie Porter didn't answer it. Which, again, a lot of politicians will obfuscate the truth. A lot of them will try to dodge the question the first time. Kind of cliche. But yeah.
How dare you ask a follow-up question when I try to evade?
Ms. And Porter, we're just going to circle around.
I am an investigative
I have never
reporter.
had to do this before, ever.
She's never had a slight pushback or a slightly altered question.
Never had to answer a follow-up question before, ever. MSNBC and CNN are so nice to me.
You've never had to have a conversation with
to end
a
an
reporter?
interview.
Okay, but every other candidate has done this.
What part of I'm me? I'm running for governor because I'm a leader. So I am going to make.
So I'm going to run away for a reporter asking follow-up questions.
You're not going to answer questions from reporters? Okay, why don't we go through? I will continue to ask follow-up questions because that's my job as a journalist, but I will go through and ask these, and if you don't want to answer, you don't want to answer. So nearly every legislative...
I don't want to have an unhappy experience with you, and I don't want this all on camera.
I don't want to have an unhappy
Mental matureness of a child.
experience with you either. I would love to continue to ask these questions so that we can show our viewers what every candidate feels about every one of these issues that they care.
And again, they're showing viewers that she can't handle a slightly frustrating press interview. But again, so what I'm inferring here is every other candidate is mentally sane enough or more of an adult enough to go through an interview. That's above her pay grade, apparently.
About.
So, as usual, the meme making.
And I won't go into the meme making. They use a bunch of AI to make her fight. And yeah, I was going to say, she is becoming more and more culturally and politically relevant as, again, she's leading in terms of the polls right now. She might very well win the DNC primary. Now, one of the first comments comes to us thanks to Bill Lewis. It says, quote, she's laughing because she plans to cheat, gain 1.3 thousand likes. Wouldn't be the first time. That little voice says, they've got to look, don't they? Gain 1,000 likes. Jeff Bird says, how is it possible to find someone more unlikable than Hillary and Kamala Harris? Gain 1.4 thousand likes, which, again, as much as when it comes to Hillary Clinton, I think pretty much every policy and everything she stood for, and pretty much, I think it was incorrect. I think pretty much I think that if you just took the antithesis or the opposite of every thought or idea or policy Hillary Clinton had, the country would be a better place. But at least Hillary Clinton was mentally articulate enough to handle interviews. She actually, and again, she's in comparison to Katie Porter, especially, she was a lot more competent. Even if I didn't agree with anything she says, she was articulate, she could handle questions. And I guess I should clarify, or just for the record, when it comes to Hillary Clinton, for the record, I think she's definitely a beautiful and intelligent woman, has not had a disproportionate amount of people around her commit suicide, 28 people or something like that. And coincidentally, I do not own any rope and plan to live a long, healthy life. I just coincidentally want to throw that out there, just for the record. You also have Nelson Muntz said, I'm not convinced this is a woman, getting 685 likes. Let's see. And Nuka says, quote, she abused her husband, she abused her employees, she'll abuse her constituents, getting 512 likes. I guess I say allegedly. I don't have any hard truth of that. Let's see. A Day in the Life says, quote, when you're ugly on the inside, you're ugly on the outside, getting 395 likes. Wallbanger says, imagine what a dictator this woman would be if she wins, getting 659 likes. Snap Publishing says, quote, another Democrat immune to facts or logic, getting 615 likes. The F Crew says, read the questions as it was written. You mean follow the script, correct? Getting 31 likes. Yeah. Michael Stevenson says, quote, the California Clown Show continues, getting 874 likes. That might be a funny question. What place will be more livable soon, California or Illinois? Which I purposely mispronounced as a slight to that state. Can't help but think how many businesses and people have relocated to those states past couple of years. Hundreds have left, businesses and millions of people. I'm sure they'll change their policies and be great places to live sometime soon. Obviously, they won't. You also have Big Mike saying, quote, she knows the elections in California are rigged. Basically, she can't lose. Getting 1,000 likes. Let's see. Buddy Fidget says, quote, dude looks like a linebacker, getting 359 likes. Soul Doubt says, this woman is legitimately insane, getting 478 likes. Try My Martini says, wow, she's insanely unlikable, getting 218 likes, which, yeah, that is a big part of politics. It's not just policy, it's also visual appeal, it's also personality. Especially for guys, it's also height. There's not a lot of short presidents out there. And fun fact, ever since the invention of the safety razor, the disposable safety blade, I believe, there's not been a single president with facial hair. So unfortunately for JD Vance, he's going to have to shave if he really wants to have a win at the shot of the election presumably if he runs for office. Vegas guy says, this lady is about as likable as Jeffrey Dahmer after he was convicted. What an idiot. Getting 557 likes, which, and again, it was, you could debate, it was actually a softball question. Someone says, how are you going to win over Trump voters? She could just said, well, I'm going to share some ideas with them, and I think some of them will resonate. That's it's a BS answer, but it's a very political answer. It's very vague. It's very open. Then maybe, presumably, the interviewer would actually ask can you quantify or get more specific? Maybe there's one policy you think will resonate with people on the left and the right, or, everyone together. But no, she had a complete meltdown. And it's not like a thing where this is her first interview ever. Maybe she's more nervous. I mean, Lord knows when I first started my show, again, I started terribly, worse than Biden, debatably, and I spoke faster than Ben Shapiro, still trying to work on decreasing my rate of speech or, speak a little bit slower. But again, throughout time, most people usually will get better at, what they're practicing. And this gal, or, she's running for office. She's a contender, as they might say. She just crashed and burned over a simple interview. So, I mean, with my voice tone, it almost seems like I'm talking about the business blunder of the day. Perhaps she will be the political blunder of the day. And again, she's leading in some polls. And again, if she does win the Democrat nominee, there's a very high propensity she's going to win. Because again, California is very much a blue state. But let me know your thoughts, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, trying to get to 6,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so click that button. I really appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, and comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback. Let me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, anyone, everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.